I have a construction company here. I employ about 40 Palestinian Arabs.
Yep.
I have an employee who, unfortunately, his nephew was a terrorist, and he hurt a couple of Israelis, and he only got a 3-year sentence. He didn't kill them.
Right.
He only got about 2,000 shekels a month. On the other hand, he has a buddy, another terrorist, who actually killed. And this is the one, if you remember the situation in Itamar where he killed the Fogel family.
Yes.
I mean, that family is getting something like 12,000 shekels a month. This is completely illegal. And could you explain a little bit more about the Taylor Force Act?
What the U.S. did, Lou, was say because this is a codified program. It's not something that PA hides. Like you said, this is codified in their law, and there's different levels of funding depending on different levels of attacks, and they use a significant amount of their budget for it. The U.S. finally said we're no longer going to fund the PA directly. 2018, it's called the Taylor Force Act, after an American student was killed by one of these terrorists who was incentivized to carry out the attack because of the Pay for Slay program. So the illegality of it is clear. You cannot, as a whether you govern a territory or you are any kind of government entity whatsoever, have a program that incentivizes killing innocent individuals. And that is exactly what happened. But it took until 2018 with the Taylor Force Act where the U.S. said we're no longer going to fund the Abbas PA directly. Are we still going to try to provide some welfare to the Palestinian people in need? Yes, but we're going to go around the PA. We're not going to fund the PA directly. We're not going to let them decide how to use the funds because, as we talked about, 7% of their budget, $350 million, goes to the Pay for Slay program and it has 550 employees. Only $220 million of their budget goes to non-terrorist welfare programs. So most of it goes to terrorists and their family welfare programs. So the U.S. said no. But now the Biden administration, Than, is looking for a way. Listen to the State Department spokesperson, Ned Price. He's asked about re-engaging with the Palestinians.
As part of that, we are reviewing the diplomatic presence that you alluded to. We are ensuring that it will enable us to fully conduct our complete range of activities, including engagement with Palestinian people, with the Palestinian authorities, public diplomacy, assistance, diplomatic reporting. We've talked about our commitment for funding for Palestinians, including Palestinian refugees. We are committed to all of that. I think you will see concrete manifestations of that going forward.
First of all, I think the United States would have to directly ignore the law, to be quite honest with you, to do this. Look, the Palestinians can change their law however they want, but if they don't cease the Pay for Slay program, the U.S. law, Jordan, says that the Secretary of State must certify that these kind of payments have stopped. So whether they're official sanctioned payments or not, that would trigger the law. I would tell you two things, Jordan. First of all, this is not complicated. I mean, of course, it's the correct policy for the United States to not fund governments or governmental entities, however you feel about the Palestinian administration, if they are engaging in this type of behavior, if they're paying for the slaughter of Americans and Israelis. You know, Jordan, I'm not so sure we should be funding the Palestinian Authority anyway. I really don't think we should. But this should be something that unifies everyone. And, you know, the comment that Ned Price, the State Department spokesperson, made, they're actually trying to do the same thing in letting the PLO open that facility in Washington, D.C. The federal law there, Jordan, says that the Palestinians would owe more than $600 million if they were to open that facility. And that's not just a suggestion. That is federal law. And the Biden administration is looking to get around that as well. So the two things here, I mean, it's a policy question. The Trump policy was correct on this. The other one is just a matter of federal law, Jordan. They cannot do this without changing the law, but it looks like they're going to try anyway.